everybody. Welcome back to the Routine Podcast.
Gymnastics Conversations.
I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Chelsea's mom, Diana.
And we're back for episode 37. It's our last episode before Christmas.
It is. And I think after we do this, we've got to figure out the whole Christmas shopping thing.
Yeah.
Because you have a job now and I don't. So from a Christmas present thing, I think we're flipping this up.
Christmas, now that I'm older and wiser, Christmas is just not a great holiday.
Well, it's a great holiday if we don't get all wrapped up, I think, into the, pardon the pun, but get all wrapped up into the gift giving. And I think what's changed for you this year is that you actually have to give.
I know, right? It's like expected of me.
That's right, because you've got a full-time job.
Yeah, but like, not that I mind giving gifts. It's just that, why can't we all just get together, eat some food, and chill?
We could do that this year. Are you okay with that? No gifts? Just making sure. I think everybody would be fine with that.
Or maybe if like everybody in the family like pitched into one big gift for one person. So that we all don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to get you a scarf.
Hey, Quint, we were just talking about you on the podcast. We were just talking about gift giving. It's funny enough, guys, my son just called this very second. So, Quentin, Chelsea wants to change the whole gift giving thing.
Like the Christmas gift giving or gift giving as like a general practice?
Christmas gift giving.
Okay.
I think instead of everybody spending $100 on 3 people, we all contribute our $100 to buy one gift for that person. So it would be like a $500 gift, you know?
So, Chelsea, what $500 gift would you like?
That's what this is about, Quentin.
I haven't thought about it. I'm just saying, like, instead of everybody going through the trouble of buying and shipping and figuring out what people want, we all just work towards one gift and we open one gift on Christmas and that's it.
I think we should decide soon because we are Christmas shopping.
I'm saying not this year, but I'm saying, like, that's something to consider in the future.
I think that is certainly something to consider for next year.
You want us to stop recording now?
No, I was just calling asking about what you're buying for whom.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Well, there you go. Sounds like my plan trumps all.
But it's, again, next year. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so back to gymnastics.
Yeah, so we're getting closer and closer to season. How many more weeks until it's like the new year? Like 3 weeks now?
Yeah, if that. I don't even know if it's that.
It's crazy.
I'm ready for 2019.
For gymnastics or just as a new year?
A new year. We just need to start again. You know, I'm a biggie in just being thankful for every moment of every day. So I'm not going to say 2018 was a bad year. It's just, you know, for me, New Year's, I get the chance to start over. And with that being the case in 2 weeks that I get to start over, I'm looking forward to 2019.
Yeah, me too.
Can we tell people what you did this week, though? Oh, you're looking at me like, what are you talking about? Okay, can I just say icy hot patch?
Oh. Yeah, you could say it.
You say it.
Oh, I went to open gym for the first time in a long time.
Like 2-3 years, maybe?
Yeah. And my body was feeling it. But it was funny. It wasn't the day after or even 2 days after, because usually people say whenever you work out, you're going to feel it 2 days after the worst. It was 3 days after, like, my back was just like, no, never again.
What have you done to me?
And I was kind of doing a lot. I was on tumble track and I was just doing handspring tucks. But I think like the motion of arching my back like that, I hadn't done that in years. And I did like probably like 4 or 5 of them. But it was fun.
Can we kind of just start at the beginning of this? Because it's not that she even told me anything about, I want to go to open gym, I want to do gymnastics again. Nothing, right? I didn't know anything about anything. I think we talked this week, and you're like, yeah, I just came back from open gym. And I'm like, oh.
But you didn't even say anything. You're like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and because then I kind of thought, did I hear her right? Maybe she was like watching, because I think I was thinking that, for the podcast, she was like watching Open Gym. And then Chelsea came to see me this weekend and she's got this icy hot patch.
I was like, yo, can you help me out? My back is hurting me. And I was like, I went to Open Gym. She's like, yeah, I thought I heard that right when we were on the phone, but I just didn't want to ask.
So what made you decide to do this?
I don't know. I think it was never really top of mind for me because where I live, it's very city. So there's no gyms in the immediate area. Mm-hmm. So I was never really thinking about, let me go into gymnastics. But honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, after talking with Tim Michaels, the president of NAIGC, and him talking about how, quote unquote, they don't discriminate, if you will, like if you were a former gymnast or if you've never done gymnastics, like they're open to everyone giving it a shot.
Yeah.
That made me just want to learn more about Open Gym and I guess NAIGC in my own area. Not that I'm going to do NAIGC at all. You might.
I can go and cheer for you again.
I'm not doing that, but I just wanted to see, that'd be fun just to like try it out since I haven't done gymnastics in so long.
Well, it's so funny too, because we've had plenty of conversations since you graduated about gymnastics and me saying, hey, why don't you go do this? Or have you ever wanted to flip more? Or do you miss it? And you're always very emphatically, no. I mean, you were just like, no, my body couldn't do this. And then all of a sudden you go.
I think it's the question of, do you miss it? Which aspects do I miss? Like, I don't miss competition at all.
You never liked competition, ever.
Which is why I would never consider NAIGC. I don't miss the expectations that you have at practice, where it's like, you have to nail 7 beam sets in a row, or you have to start your assignment over. I'm a very independent person as it is, so going to Open Gym on my own time if I feel like it after work one day and not saying this is my set schedule, that's fun to me. And I can go to tumble track if I want. I can put on grips if I really want. I can do whatever I want because this is my decision.
Do you still have grips?
I don't.
Okay.
And I will not be swinging bars at all.
That might be fun, though. No.
It would not be fun at all.
Yeah, I don't even know why I even said that would be fun.
See, that makes me not want to go to Open Gym. Nobody's going to be telling me, like, you need to be doing this. No, I'm almost 26 years old. I'm going to make these adult decisions.
Okay, so you decide, or you've been thinking about it for a while?
I think so.
And so when you walked into that gym, were you like freaked out about what your body is getting ready to do and whether or not you can do any of this stuff again?
I knew I was, like, the first day, I knew that I was just going to be, like, taking it easy. I knew that I wasn't going to be doing, like, crazy stuff because that's just, like, asking to pull a hamstring.
Sure. And so you saw all the apparatus. Are there other people there at this point?
There's so many other people. And it's funny because one of the people that I went to grad school with, she did club gymnastics in her college. And she always wanted me to, like, go with her to Open Gym when we were in grad school. But I was fresh off of the gymnastics scene and I just wanted a break. And it was more of like, hey, show me what you can do, because she knew that I had done it in college. So It was more proving myself to her, which I really didn't want to do.
It wasn't worth it for you.
No. And as soon as I walked in the doors, I hear, Chelsea! And I was like, who knows me here? I've never been here before. And it was her.
Oh, so wow.
It was cool to, like, have somebody I knew, but she also told everybody in the gym that I was, like, really good. So everybody was expecting me to, like, show out. But they didn't know that it's been, like, 2 years since I've done anything. So.
Oh, wow. That kind of defeated the purpose of kind of incognito, walking in, not knowing anybody, no expectations. Yeah. And so how many, what did you say you did?
Handspring, tuck.
How many of those did you do?
Like 4, 5, 6.
How was the first one for you?
I was a little scared. I'm more scared of, like, my Achilles more than anything.
The one that you tore?
No, the other one.
Yeah, the other one.
But at the same time, it's like, you gotta just live your life. If I pop my Achilles, I pop my Achilles. It'll be a great story for the podcast.
And we know a good doctor.
Yeah, we do. So.
Okay, so don't do that, okay?
I can't control it. I'll try not to.
I understand. On tumble track, that should be.
Knock on wood.
Right? Hey. Let's knock on all kinds of wood here. Wow. Well, it was fun. Is that what I hear?
It was fun. Yeah, I don't know when I'll be back. Because, again, it's my own thing. It's my own schedule.
Yeah, and I won't ask when you're going back, obviously, but I just think it's pretty fascinating. What I really like about it, why you see me smiling, is because obviously, we have struggled with the sport of gymnastics, from the time. In fact, we were looking at pictures yesterday because I happened to be cleaning up my basement. But to do that, I needed to go through files because I've got lots of pictures. And so from your gymnastics file, there are so many pictures of you because everybody knows, with those clubs, you have a photographer who comes every year and puts you on the cover of Sports Illustrated and
quote unquote on the Wheaties box.
Exactly. So we have plenty of those. And so we were going through all these pictures, and we have those when you were, I think the very, very first time you were in a gym. It was your birthday, and you said, this is how all of it started.
Yeah.
And so to the point, the sport has taken us through a lot. So to hear that on your own, you went back to a gym to do open gym.
I think it goes back to my point of, and a lot of former gymnasts will understand this, that the sport of gymnastics is never really your own, I guess. I'm sure there's a better way to say that, but you're going to practice from 3:30 to 7:30, 5 days a week. You're going to competitions every weekend during the winter. In the summer, you're going to be practicing 16 hours a week. Like, from the time that you're 4 years old, all the way through college for some of us, we're being told where we're going to be showing up and what's going to be done. And we don't question it because we've been doing it since we're young.
Right.
And I think that's why after I graduated, I didn't have a hate relationship with gymnastics. It was just like, I needed a break.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just needed my time.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm realizing that I can decide what I want to do, people aren't going to be giving me assignments, and coaches aren't going to be critiquing me and judging me for every skill that I'm doing. I can do this for fun.
Yeah, good.
So.
That's so cool.
So if any of you guys, if you've done gymnastics, if you've never done gymnastics, if you're interested in gymnastics, find an open gym in your area. It's a lot of fun. The people, at least in my experience, the people that go there are all there to support each other. And we're all just kind of figuring it out as we go. And nobody's judging you when you're in there. And it's a lot of fun. I think you can make a lot of good friends that way too.
It's so cool.
But anyways, back to...
Yeah, we've gone on
I know, right?
We have gone on various different directions today. We're not following Chelsea's script at all.
Not at all. I think we should talk about some of the comments that we got last week.
That's a good place to start.
Do you have a comment that you want to read?
Sure. So I have a comment from AB Jim. Hi, AB Jim. It's good to hear back from you. So AB Jim wrote, I loved the recap of the Maryland intra-squad meet. It's always fun to hear about teams that don't get much coverage. And as you said at the last episode, we actually plan to do more Maryland coverage this year. Mm-hmm. Last night, we actually put our schedule together for all the meets.
Yes.
So we did a couple of Marylands. We did a couple of Towson meets. So just local teams. Mm-hmm. We just thought that we were going to do a little bit more than we did last year.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people enjoyed that little segment of the episode last week because you don't hear about those teams a lot. So
exactly. We really want to go a little bit broader. Last year, we spent a lot of times on the top teams in the country.
Which is, we're still going to focus on.
We're still going to do that.
We're going to add.
That's our plan anyway.
Yes. But again, do we stick to our plans a lot of the time?
We haven't so far. Not today. It kind of messed us up when Quentin called.
I know, right? He messed it up. We also got a comment from Shazalina. She said, enjoyed both OU and UGA inter-squads. UGA with 4 different 10-0 start values. Also really enjoyed Alexa Al-Hamid on balance beam for UGA, which I saw that the Georgia meet was pretty good. Oh, by the way, Courtney had her baby.
She did. Mm-hmm. Oh, congratulations, Courtney.
Yeah. This is like the perfect time to have the baby.
Yeah, it really is. And the timing was spot
on. And also the Oklahoma inter squad. I saw some of their videos on YouTube and woo!
Oklahoma's ready. They are such a good team.
They're really good.
And you know what now? They are probably like...
really good.
Right? From what happened last year with 1/2 or whatever the heck it was, they are ready this year. Like not doing that again.
Yeah. So exciting stuff is happening, a lot of great gymnastics. So thank you guys for your comments. Again, if you have anything that you want us to mention on the episode, tweet us. Our Twitter is @RoutinePodcast. Another thing that I did want to touch upon, because last week we weren't able to talk about the LSU inner squad.
Right, we recorded the night before.
I think we should each just say one thing that we were happy about.
Sarah Finnegan.
No, I was going to say that. I was going to say I get to go first so that you could talk about Sarah Finnegan. All I'm going to say is Sarah Finnegan is so ready for her senior season.
Isn't she?
How good did she do on Monday?
She looks like a senior.
She does. She performed like a senior and she acted like a senior. She was so mature and ready. I think highlight for me, well, 2 highlights. Her vault was impeccable. And her floor routine. I really like her new floor routine.
Oh, I do too. I loved her old floor routine.
I did too.
It's like for Sarah, she could, do anybody's floor routine and you'd love it.
And it's brand new and she was like performing it so well.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so for me, since I can't talk about Sarah, although I did talk about Sarah, Reagan Campbell on beam. I know she's a sophomore this year, but, she did excellent last year on beam as a freshman, but you could even see that one extra year for her. I was thinking as I was watching them do beam, somebody needs to take the place of Erin McAday, who graduated last year as a senior. I think it might be Reagan. She was great. No?
Christina is the new Erin. Reagan is a good performer. She, once Sarah leaves, Reagan is going to be the anchor, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we have to talk about Kennedy too, right?
If you want, what do you want to say?
She felt like she was owning it again, too. She's a junior this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She felt like a junior this year.
She was very in her own. It didn't feel like she needed to, impress other people.
Mm-mm.
She was there to do her own gymnastics and own her stuff.
You know my favorite thing to watch with Kennedy?
That beam front toss.
Although I do love that.
That's my favorite.
Her just running up the vault runway.
Right, she runs.
It's is there a track here and some hurdles?
She could. It looks like
there's no doubt.
Before they run to do the long jump.
Yeah, the triple jump, any of those.
Pole vaulting.
Yeah, any of them.
Yeah.
She's got the classic form for a track runner. Because of course I used to do track too, Chels.
Okay. Okay.
All right, but anyhow, so that was our LSU recap.
One thing I want to talk about is that the preseason coaches poll, where coaches vote for the top teams, I guess you could say. I don't know what the official language is, but they vote for what they think the top teams are for this season. And who do you think the top of the list is?
Top teams. Oklahoma.
In order.
I guess that means Oklahoma's not number 1. Okay, so the top 3 teams in order: UCLA, Oklahoma, Florida.
Oh, snap. Yes, that's it. That was good. Yeah.
You gave me a clue when you said in order.
But yeah, so let's do top 5. Number 1, UCLA. Number 2, Oklahoma. Number 3, Florida. Number 4, LSU. And number 5, Utah.
I would have done that. That would have been the order I would have done.
So congratulations to UCLA on that. I think that just goes to show how good competitions are going to be this year.
It really does. I totally agree with that.
Moving on, we have a voicemail this week.
I know. I'm so excited about that.
Hi there. I follow you guys all the time. I think it's so cool that you have a wonderful mother-daughter relationship. But here's my question. I'm in Florida and I love football, as most Floridians do, but we also love our gymnastics. And I understand that there are so many new recruits for gymnastics, but tell me more about any new coaches.
Wow. I thought she was going to ask questions about new recruits for Florida.
Right.
But I guess she probably already knows who those are, so.
She didn't say her name, but her name is Arletha, and she's from Florida. So thank you for your voicemail, Arletha. And thank you for listening. That's actually a really good question.
It is a good question.
And because of the voicemail, I did a little bit of digging about the new coaches because there was a lot of shifts in coaches this year.
There was.
Yes. I think one of the big coaching changes that was unexpected was Nebraska head coach Dan Kendig, after 25 seasons, retired.
Okay.
And it was...
But that was unexpected, did you say?
Yeah, I think it was in like either October or November that he announced his retirement, which is kind of... And it was effective immediately.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone was a little shaky.
Right. Well, how was their season last year?
Amazing. We saw Nebraska at the Super Six.
We did.
Yeah. So I saw an article from Husker Extra, and athletic director Bill Moose said, "It was time for Kendig to retire. I can't reveal a lot more details than that. I think it's important to make clear that this doesn't in any way have anything to do with mistreatment of the student athlete. It's more of a compliance conversation."
What a horrible soundbite.
Well,
as somebody in the public relations industry, that's a horrible quote.
He obviously was beaten around the bush.
Clearly.
But he wanted to make sure, especially I think with everything that's going on in the gymnastics world, that it didn't have anything to do with the mistreatment of the athletes, but it probably had something to do with recruiting and
who knows. But anytime you say it's a compliance issue, you wonder, right? You wonder what that was about. And as you said, with the immediacy in which it happened.
Yeah.
25 years, though.
And he was like really, because every assistant coach that worked under Dan Kendig has a really successful coaching career in college gymnastics.
Wow.
And I heard he was a really great coach. So it's sad that he had to just wrap it all up.
It's sad. You know, the thing that I've learned from sports and coaches and terminations is you never know the full story. So at the end of the day, we do know it's a tragedy for Nebraska because you have athletes now that there was a suddenness that happened that they now all have to adjust to.
But that's also why, at least during my time, I was told not to pick a school based on the coaches because it's not guaranteed.
It's hard, though, isn't it?
It is hard, but it's a true fact. I think out of the 4 people in my graduating class that went on to college gymnastics, 2 of the 4 people had different head coaches than whenever they went on the recruiting visit.
Like their freshman year, new coach. That's tough.
Yeah. So Heather Brink, who was the assistant coach, is now the interim head coach. Another interesting thing that happened is Lindenwood. Their assistant coaches have moved on to other universities.
And Lindenwood is a fairly new program.
Yeah. I mean, they're the youngest team in college gymnastics, but they've definitely made a mark for themselves.
They have. Agreed.
And it's all really because of head coach Jen Llewellyn. She's been through it from the start. But they also brought in 2 new assistant coaches, Brittany Harris and Becky Colvin, both who were previous gymnasts at Oregon State University. Wow. And so was Jen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then also, I'm guessing it's her husband, Cody Llewellyn, who is now the volunteer assistant coach.
Okay.
But he, a little bit differently, previously was the assistant coach for women's basketball team for the past 5 years at Lindenwood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they met at Lindenwood, it sounds like.
Maybe. I have no idea about the backstory.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Yeah.
But that's good. So he was a coach of women's sports before, and he just moved from basketball to gymnastics.
Yeah. And so now there's like a little mini Oregon State within Lindenwood. So obviously something is going well there. So I hope they continue to be successful. Towson.
Can I announce that one?
Yes, you can.
Yep. So Towson, which again is one of our local teams here in Maryland, their head coach and assistant coach have not changed. Vicky May and Jay Ramirez are still both the coaches at Towson. But most importantly for us, Mary Fredericks. So Mary and Jason from Road to Nationals. Mary Fredericks is now the assistant coach at Towson. So she's left BYU. And she's now assistant coach in Towson. So we're thrilled by that because now when we go to the Towson meet, we can obviously see Jason and Mary. You know, we are planning for our future shows. So we sent an email to Jason and Mary to say, hey, it's time to talk. Are you ready? And Jason sent an email back and said, yeah, we're close now. We can actually do it in person.
How funny is that?
I know.
They used to be all the way across the country, and now they're like right down the street.
Yeah, exactly. So best of luck, Mary. We're, again, so proud and happy that you're closer to us. And the Towson program is an incredible program. So there's no question about it that you're going to obviously make your mark here in Maryland as well.
Another interesting little thing, Temple and Rutgers. Obviously, they're very close. Temple is in Philly. Rutgers is in New Jersey. And last year, we talked a lot about Umi Salim Beasley, who was the head coach at Temple, and she was doing remarkable things at that program.
And had only been there for a short time.
Yes, and they were setting all kinds of records. But interestingly, she was the assistant coach at Rutgers before she got the head coaching position at Temple.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And then at the end of last year, the Rutgers head coach moved on, and Yumi is now the head coach at Rutgers.
Wow.
And she brought the coaching staff that was with her at Temple with her to Rutgers.
Wow.
How funny is that?
Right? So she was an assistant coach at Rutgers, left to go to Temple, made her mark, and now she's back at Rutgers again.
With her coaching staff.
With her crew.
Yeah, so she's just moving with them.
Oh, that's very neat.
Yeah, so best of luck to Rutgers this year. And I'm sure Umi's going to continue to make big marks on that program. And they're actually getting a new gym as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and that also then means, of course, we've got a new coach at Temple.
Yes.
So John Nelson is the new coach. He came from the U.S. Air Force. So he's the head coach. And he has brought with him a gymnast from Auburn, Rachel Ennis. So that ought to be fun.
Yes. And I believe Rachel, she was the volunteer assistant coach at Auburn University. And she was doing the entire choreography for Auburn, which has been spectacular. So I'm excited to see Temple have that great choreography. Congratulations to her for getting the assistant coaching position.
Absolutely. Have you ever had any desires to be a coach? Oh, that was a long pause.
For the job stability, no.
Yeah, it's true. We can just look at this list and see that.
Right. I don't know.
Okay. It's okay. It's just a question. Don't need to go. I mean,
Dang.
you're just like going deep with this one. It was just a question.
Like reevaluating my life. As of now, no, I don't think so.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, let's move on. That was much deeper than I thought it would go.
Alabama, which is pretty cool. The volunteer assistant coach is now Asia Sims. Remember her?
I do. Wow.
Yeah. So she graduated, and now she's the volunteer assistant.
Oh, that's great. You've got the UCLA retirement of Miss Val.
Well, first of all, the position hasn't been open. And since it's not open, it hasn't been filled.
That's why I said.
That's why it's not on the list.
It's going to be a little bit. It's a year, but it's still one to watch.
Yes.
Although we
definitely.
think we know what's going to happen.
Maybe. They may go out of left field and pull in a whole new person.
Which is what they did, I'm guessing, in hiring of Miss Val originally, right? She was, where was she at? A dance?
She was the piano player for the floor routines.
Right. And so if anybody is not going to follow the rules,
It would be Miss Val.
in UCLA,
Do
right?
you think she has input in that?
Absolutely. She's got 100% input on
Yeah.
this. And I would bet you money they've already made that decision. When she announced her retirement, they had already had the discussion of who's going to replace her.
Did they let that person know, you think?
No, because they could always change their mind.
So who? Just the athletic director and
And Miss Val. And it's really Miss Val and the athletic director in that order.
She's hosting the meeting.
Exactly.
Interesting. Well, we'll find out soon
We'll
enough.
find out. We'll find out.
And the last one I just want to mention, it's kind of random, but Rhode Island College, which is a Division III school. The head coach is now Monica Marsalis. Does that sound familiar to you?
No. Should it?
It should. Bridgeport University.
I remember.
University of Bridgeport.
Can't forget that one.
My freshman year.
Okay.
Monica
Was she like the
Marsalis.
Oh, she was like the tens on every event every time.
Yes.
This is that Monica?
Yes.
Wow.
She was the assistant coach at Rhode Island College for 3 years, and now she's the head coach. If you guys don't know who she is, just YouTube her.
Oh, it's worth looking at.
She used to dominate Division II gymnastics, USAG college gymnastics. She would just dominate every single event.
She was so good, guys, that when it came time to warm up, most of the athletes are dutifully warming up their double back pike. Monica's just sitting.
She's doing her choreography.
Right, she's in a corner doing her choreography because you had meets against Bridgeport all the time throughout the full year. She may do a timer, but she doesn't have to.
And like the head coach, Byron, wasn't worried about it.
Don't
care.
No. And then, come that last event, last person go would always be Monica.
Always.
She was always the anchor. She would salute.
And it's showtime.
It would be showtime. And it was beautiful.
And it wasn't like she was doing like low level skills. Like she was doing the skills.
She was.
Yeah. Another person from University of Bridgeport that comes to mind that was very similar to that was Sasha Toskanovich.
Right.
But like take Sasha and multiply that by like 7.
Absolutely.
That was Monica.
Absolutely.
She actually went to the Olympics. I don't know if you're aware. She went to the Olympics for Spain, I think in 2008.
Doesn't surprise me.
That just shows her grade level.
Yeah.
Especially in Division II gymnastics.
That's the key. I was going to say, why did she go to Division II? Because she could do what she did.
Yeah, exactly. Just dominate the field. But those were some good times. There's a lot of good gymnastics.
They were. So anyhow, so she's at Rhode Island as the head coach now.
Yes.
Congratulations, Monica.
Yes. And I think that kind of rounds out kind of the big heavy hitters of the coaching changes for this year.
Yeah, so thanks for that voicemail to help us focus on that and get that information. I think it's, again, worthwhile, although I'll definitely say it at the end of the show. That's exactly what we want this podcast to be. We're a resource for you, you're a resource for us, and that you can dial in or call in like that listener did. And Arletha, and ask us questions. So thank you very much.
And I hope you're enjoying that Florida weather. The last thing we want to talk about, right? Wow. Do we have time to talk about this? Or have we just like...
Maybe that's on the next show.
You think?
You know what? We could, because we're already at who knows how long, we could do it at the next show and ask for comments now that we can include in the next show. Right?
I like the way you think.
I mean, Mom. I think we spent so much time on Christmas presents and you in the gym.
I know, right?
That we weren't anticipating.
Hopefully this episode was informative for you all.
In a good way?
Yeah. If you're still with us, our next episode is going to be about seniors. I know this was a good episode for us last year. You really touched upon the point of, yes, these are all seniors, and yes, kind of the future is unknown, but we need to celebrate them now at the beginning of season as opposed to the end of season because we just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe I set a trend, right? But it's to celebrate the gymnasts who've committed their lives to this sport and taking the time before they begin their season to celebrate their success and to be able to watch them all year, knowing that they're seniors and knowing what they've committed to this sport.
Yes. And I know you picked your top 3 seniors.
Yeah, I actually went beyond 3, but okay.
And when I say top, those are in air quotes because how can we really only pick 3
That's
seniors?
right. All the seniors are tops.
Yes.
And that's why, like you said, 3. I actually did, looks like 6 to 8 here.
Oh my. Yeah, so we definitely don't have time for that today.
I can do some faster than others.
But I've picked 3 as well.
Okay.
But I think it's a good idea for our listeners to tell us which seniors you're looking forward to watching and celebrating this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
should I do a Twitter poll? I'm really into these Twitter polls.
You are, and I'm okay with that as long as we get voicemails, right? Because I think the Twitter poll, again, I'm not a millennial, clearly.
But close, though.
Yeah, by about 40, 50 years.
Well, you're not that old.
I know.
Hey.
But I am not a millennial. We know that much, right? But I think by doing the Twitter poll, it limits me to have to click boxes or type in words. Whereas what we really want is the dialogue. Mm-hmm. If I can just do my pitch now
The floor is yours.
Okay. Visit our website, theroutinepodcast.com. There's a navigation at the top that says, be a part of the conversation. Click that. Scroll down to the bottom. There's an orange microphone. Just click that microphone and leave us your message and tell us which seniors you're most looking forward to celebrate this year and why. And, this is like the perfect opportunity if you're a parent to celebrate your gymnast, right? To celebrate your daughter or celebrate your team. What better way to celebrate them now when we're not talking about scores, we're not talking about who won, who lost. We're just talking about their career as a gymnast. What better way to do that than on our podcast with a voicemail message? Yeah. Wasn't that a good pitch?
That's very good.
It wasn't our plan, but now that we've talked for an hour.
I know, right? We just don't have time for it.
But we will next time.
Yes.
And we'll give it the time it deserves.
So again, leave us your comments. You can tweet us at Routine Podcasts. You can email us at info@theroutinepodcast.com. And you can, again, leave us a voicemail on our website, theroutinepodcast.com.
We look forward to hearing from you, whether that's the voicemail, whether that's the email, whether that's a tweet. We look forward to hearing from you.
Definitely. I think we had a great episode today. I say that now before I edit it.
We had fun today. How about that?
We did. But if you guys enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget to rate, to comment, and to subscribe to the episode. And if you're listening on the Apple Podcast app, give us a 5-star rating. We really appreciate it. And maybe share our podcast with a friend.
It's been fun, Chelsea.
It has. And I hope you all enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your time off from work, really.
And enjoy your time with your family.
And friends. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.